Hello everybody. I'm going to share with you today a journal page that I have put together for a lady by the name of Fiona. A lot of you may know her. She is Fiona J, the journal crafter on YouTube, and she is a very talented journal maker. She's made many wonderful journals, and she's having a giveaway challenge, and all you have to do is make her a journal page, which is just a copy page folded in half, and decorate 4 sides of that page, you know, like front and back of each side once it's folded. All the instructions are on her video, and I will put a link to that in the description box below. Originally the challenge was going to finish a lot earlier. I thought I'd missed it, but she has changed the date and it is now the 28th of June. So there's a good 4 weeks to get an entry in, and the prizes she has are just beautiful. If you're into journals, you will love the prizes. But besides that, it was a lot of fun to put this together for her. Probably too much fun because I think I've put far too much in it. To my understanding, she is going to be putting all of the pages together and making it into like a friendship journal. So I really don't think she's going to be writing in it. So I think she's just wanting a little bit of everybody's art, their journal art, to put into a book, so she has something to give her inspiration and something from other journalers. So this is what I've put together. I did make a little booklet to go in it, but it's far too full for that, so I'll show you that in a moment. This is the first page. The only requirements, I think, were to put your name and YouTube channel on the page. I've got mine inside there. So this is the first page. Mine is just tea-stained copy paper, but it is reinforced down the spine with fabric, because the copy paper I get isn't very strong. It's a lightweight copy paper. One day I will go the extra mile and get some heavyweight stuff, but until I do, I just have to reinforce my where the binding's going. So on the front we have a belly band. I have used the inside of a book. Trying to think. I think that was a flower book, that particular piece, and it was just such a nice colour. It says the Thames Publishing Company, London, and so I've put that on there. I've also used little pieces of paper from the Atelier collection by Stamperia. I made a journal not long ago using that paper pack, and I still had a few bits and pieces left, so I've used some of that. And I love that collection. I think it's really lovely. So we have a belly band. I have some snippets on the side here, and a little flower with some glitter and beads in the center, a couple of mother of pearl bird buttons, and lots of stitching. Inside the belly band we have a little pocket here. It's made from just a old diary. I did use some pictures from an Australian diary, quite an old, like, yearly diary. I wouldn't say antique or way too vintage, but it's got some nice images in it. So I've used that and folded it over to make a little pocket. I've just got some lace and some more lace and some seam binding, lots of stitching once again. I've put a little tag in there using some of the Stamperia paper. I haven't written on that because that's where I will put a message to Fiona when I'm ready to send it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this here. It's just some paper to write on. Like I said, I'm not sure if she's going to write on it, but you've got to fill it with something, don't you? I've put a little tag, and that's from the paper collection. I've backed it in some tea stain paper, put a snippet on the front, or just a little cluster actually, and I've just looped a paper clip around that ribbon there, so it's actually loose, but it works quite nicely. Just to you know, it's just like a paper clip, but that's on the front of it. So I've got that on there. I printed out just a printable. I think I got that one on Pinterest perhaps, I'm not quite sure. This little bit of paper here I think was ripped off it was ripped off this piece of paper. It was along this edge, and I just liked the way it looked, so I stitched it on there. That's just, it was, see, it was a book, and that was, it says Marucci Withdrawal, a library book, but you know how they sell off their library books after a while. So I think I actually got this book from the thrift shop rather than the library, but you know, at some stage they've sold it off as well. So it's just some journaling paper, and that's the back there. So that's what goes on the front page. And then we open it up like that. It's rather busy. There's not a lot of journal space. Well, there is actually, but it's obviously not for that purpose. So here we have a lovely little card from the old diary that I was talking about. Also a bit of the Stamperia paper line. I have a little tuck spot in there. It's just a ticket with some lace and tulle bow and some writing space on the back and some stitching. A little bit of gathered lace, some vintage flowers here. I also have a little piece of paper. I actually made this when I did the what are they called, the vintage slides. I put a window in there, and then on the inside I've just stamped a picture of a lady. I'm kind of wishing I'd used a different ink for that, because I love this grey ink, but it, you know, it's very soft and subtle, but that's okay. And I've just got some paper there from the Secret Garden book, and so that one goes in there like that, and that one goes in there like that. And then this opens this way. It doesn't open, it's just tuck spots. We have a guest check with some stamping and some tea stained, oh, that could be coffee stained paper, that piece in there. And that's the first little opening. And then the second little opening has some more writing paper. Manners at an Australian Picnic. It was from the same page that these things were from here. And I have just left some journal paper there, and I've done some stamping on the other side, and once again that's one of the pages from that old library book as well. And so that slips in the back there like that. And then on this side, these actual pages, I had, I think I've got another one here too, because I want to put it in my own journal, or in the other journal I'm putting together. I had made a journal page for Irene, who is seriously scrapping, quite some time ago, and I made a couple of extra. This is the style I sent to Irene. So I had 3 of these left. I'm using 2 in the journal I'm putting together, and this is the third one. So on this side we have some collage work here. It's actually a little envelope from Bonnie and Clive that I've used there. And I have put a little collage of with a bulb pen and some beads, little picture from that diary, a page out of a French dictionary, and just a little bridge scorecard wrapped around it as well. I have some decoupage work here and a flower and crochet. I have that opening, that has a little magnet to keep it shut. There is some snippet row up the top here, and just another tulle bow there, because I just can't help myself sometimes. In the pocket is just a flash card. It's got F for Fiona, and just some journal space and stamping on the back, and that goes in there like that and closes up. And then I've just put my details there, and there's some washi tape and some collage work. Another cluster here. No tucks or anything, just to make it look nice. I did forget there's a little pocket behind here, and that's just got some paper to write on. It goes all the way through, so you just pop it in like that, and you get that pretty ribbon on that side and the pretty lace on the other side there. Folding it over, we have the collage work, and then we open it up like that, and I have some decoupage, napkin decoupage, and that napkin is, it's really lovely, and that came from Luscious Laces from Annette's store on Facebook. I have some washi tape down the center and some stamping. I have a paper doily and lace there stitched on as well. And here is just a little journal paper, and that is actually a little magnet, because I thought, why not take advantage of the magnet in the envelope? So I've made a little magnet on this flower, a little bit of journal paper, and when you're writing on it, you can just do that. It's not going anywhere. Those magnets are super strong and really, really tiny. Let me show you how small they are. Oh, they're so strong. Look how tiny they are. They're amazing. I love them. So that's that side there. And that closes like that, and that closes like that, and then we turn it over to the back. And I think I've put far too much in here, but you know, it was fun. And that's what challenges are about. They're about fun. So we have, once again, a little bit of stamping on the page. We have some vintage laces down the side there. Little pocket there with that old French paper, which is quite fragile, so it's probably just as well it's not a writing journal. Just have some offcuts stitched on here with some wallpaper and a bit of lace, some seam binding stitched on, and some tea or coffee stained paper on the back there, and that just slides in to there. And then just a little bit of stamping, and then we have this card here, and that's out of, you know, those old photo shoe boxes. I was looking through some stuff yesterday, and I found I had a couple of those, and I had, where is it? I found these, look, these old little file cards, so I thought, well, let's use one of those. And then just tucked behind there, I just have a couple of botanical images that I thought were really pretty. I backed them on some tea stain paper. I've done some stamping once again. They're all stitched on, and on here the paper wasn't quite big enough to cover it, so I used 2 pieces and just sandwiched a little bit of lace. I've done that quite a few times, and it's a nice little touch sometimes. So that goes in the back there, and it does fit just. Originally, I had intended on putting this little booklet in here like that, but it got a bit too thick at the side there, so I decided to use this one instead, because it's not quite as thick doing that. But I will show you the little, let me just put these in and I'll show you the little booklet as well. I'll probably send that to her because it's made from the diary as well. So let's pop that in there like that. And then this just little book, it's made out of a little candy bag, once again from Bonnie and Clive. I have some of my own flowers with the pearl, little paper flowers, some more stitching there, odds and ends of lace as well. And then it's just quite simple actually. I've put one of those little fabric card things that she can use, or just leave it in there if she wants in there. Just all the little scrappy pieces left, I've just popped in here. A little bit of stamping to break up the plainness. Music paper, that thread was on the end there, so I thought, well, we'll just use that as a, it's what I sewed the pages. See the grey thread there? It's the end of that. Instead of cutting it off, I just left it on, and we can use that as a bookmark. And there's just 4 little pages. And then the last page is just a little wallpaper, and what was that of? The bridge card, the end of the bridge, other side of the bridge card that I cut off, and then I've just put some printed paper, put a little bit of seam binding on that, and that's a little tag to go in the back. It did want to keep falling out, so I've just popped this little paper clip on here. It's quite an old paper clip, it's a bit stiff, but I'll put it there anyway. And that's just a little charm that Michelle sent me. She sent me quite a few little beads and charms and things, and I just I thought that was really nice, so I'll pop that there as well. And that's the little booklet that almost went in here but didn't. So I do hope you like what I've made, Fiona. There's plenty of time if anybody is interested in joining in this challenge. It's not difficult. You don't have to do as much as this. You just need to decorate like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages in any style. I think any style. Oh gosh. And put your name and detail. Well, your name on it. I'll put details on the little tag that I sent her as well. So this will be in the mail to you this week, Fiona. Thank you so much for the challenge, and thank you for extending the date of it as well. So take care, everybody. Bye. I was just looking at it in the viewfinder above, and I've decided just to add this little bit of lace here on the belly band, just at the top here, because it just felt like it needed something a little bit more on that cover, and because I just can't leave things alone. I'm going to put it away now. Bye.